The Nigerian army says it's rescued more than 1,000 people held captive by Boko Haram in Borno state. Most are women and children, and also some young men who were forced to become fighters for the terror group. CNN's Farai Sevenzo joins us from Nairobi with much more. Farai, good to have you with us as usual. What more do we know about the circumstances surrounding these rescues?
This morning, Aisha, since the Army Brigadier General Texas Chukwu made that announcement yesterday evening, it's been enormously difficult to verify what the Nigerian Army has been telling us. Of course, we can't say that it's not true, but it's been very difficult to verify exactly what happened, what those circumstances were. But I can tell you that according to the Nigerian Army's spokesman, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, hostages were rescued from the villages of Malamkari, Amchaka, Walasa, and Gora, all up there in the northeast of Borno State. And of course, as you know, Borno State's capital is Maiduguri, where in fact the Boko Haram insurgency actually began 9 years ago. So at the moment, we're trying to verify whether this was a rescue by the army in which they actually had contact with Boko Haram and people were killed and lost their lives in that fight, or whether these were just villages that had been in remote areas that had no access to the security forces. Now, the other thing you must remember is that the fight that's been taken to Boko Haram also includes the multinational joint task force that has Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Benin amongst them. So as the day goes on, Aisha, we hope to get some more verification about how this rescue was actually effected.
Yeah, not just how, but when, because that too has not been made public when this rescue, as they put it, took place. With that being said, and us not knowing a time frame, what do we know of the condition of those who were rescued and where they are now?
We've been told this morning by sources in northeast Nigeria that they have been moved to an army hospital to check on their conditions and their health, and that they include many women and children. Now, of course, in just trying to surmise what it is, what kind of condition they are in. Remember, the northeast of Nigeria has suffered this Boko Haram insurgency since 2009, as I said. And we know from UNICEF's own figures that 10.5 million children are out of school, and 60% of those are in northern Nigeria. 2 million have been displaced. This conflict has killed 20,000 people since it began. So what condition are they in? I suspect they will be very, very grateful to get doctors' assistance, even just from their mental state of mind.
Yeah, I mean, one of the questions in all of this has been, obviously, the 112 Chibok girls who, as yet, have not been reunited with their families. The question, of course, when you hear of such a large number of people being rescued, is whether those girls are amongst this group. Anything coming from the Nigerian authorities to that effect, to say one way or the other?
No, not at all, Aisha. I mean, what is coming from the Nigerians is that the army has rescued 1,000 people. They say that mainly women and children. We do not know if those 112 are amongst them. And of course, as you've rightly covered for over many years, the issue of young girls being kidnapped by this militant insurgency of Boko Haram is at the very center of the insecurities that lead to over 60% of children not going to school in that part of Nigeria.
Yeah, the largest out-of-school population in the world. And very quickly, before I let you go, Farai, Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria's president, obviously came to power in 2015 with vows of ending the insurgency. We know, certainly at the end of last year, beginning of this year, there was talk of Boko Haram being defeated. Clearly, that is not the case. Elections are coming up again in Nigeria in the next couple of months. Will this issue of Boko Haram once again be on the minds of voters?
Well, absolutely, especially where they're most affected in the northeast. I mean, in February 2019, Mr. Buhari is trying to go back to the people of Nigeria, all 186 million plus of them, to say that he's the man to lead this fight. There's been many accidents. I mean, people have been accidentally killed by the Nigerian Air Force, for example, up in Ran just in 2017. The issue of Boko Haram continues to be part not only of Nigeria's security concerns, but it's going to be a big thing come the February 2019 elections, Aisha. You're absolutely right.